Hey, we're back.
Yay!
Um, so I'm Curry Massa, and we have Claris doing Silver Snow for us. Claris, could you mind introducing us to this lovely young man here, along with this really awesome lady here?
Uh, I'll let him introduce himself.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, okay.
I got the audio. There we go.
Okay.
That,
I
that
am
was on me.
Ferdinand
I
von
accidentally
Hout,
had had
legitimate
your
son
stream
of the Iron
replay muted.
family,
Oops.
the Empire's
I knew I
Oops.
forgot
foremost
something,
house.
but that should work.
So, there.
Most important line in the game.
Okay.
Most important
Yeah.
line.
I am
So,
Ferdinand
this
von
is Silver
Hout.
Snow, the actual worst route in the game. I've heard claims otherwise today, but no. This is the worst.
So the Silver Snow route is the route where you side with the Black Eagles, and then there is a route split near the end of Part 1 where you get to either side with the Black Eagles house themselves, or side with the Church of Saros. And I imagine since most people pick the Black Eagles to stay with Edelgard, they would prefer to stick with the Black Eagles, understandably.
Yeah, yep. Unfortunately, we are not doing this.
Nope. But this is a completely separate route, and has quite a different set of strats compared to the other sets of routes as well. So in my opinion, the speedrun has its place. I'll say that.
It
But
does. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
yeah, perfectly fair. But yeah, without further ado, I'll go ahead and give a countdown. So
Okay.
it looks like you're ready.
Yep.
Cool. Five, four, three, two, one. Girl.
Girl. All right. I just want to warn now that my internet has been having issues lately, so this stream may at some point go briefly down for like 30 seconds to a minute, but that should be all.
Yeah,
So,
we'll wing it appropriately. But yeah, so we're picking female Byleth. I just noticed we've been alternating male, female, and then we'll go female again for the end. Um, but
oh,
female Byleth because of Sylvain, and we're picking month 12 as the birthday. This is Byleth, who is a customizable protagonist of the game, and you can customize her gender, which matters, her birthday, which also matters, and her name, which does not really matter. So why not call her girl? And she's gonna be one of the main carries of this entire run. Certainly the main carry of part 1 before the time skip. So,
woohoo! I got through the options this time.
options menu is the most difficult menu.
Seriously.
Stay focused.
So yeah, third time we're seeing the prologue in the stream. If you haven't seen the standard full game route, this is the prologue. We have 21 chapters plus the prologue in this route. And since Violet's going to be the main carry, we want her to get good level ups. Most notably, strength, strength, and strength.
Yes. I think you forgot to mention strength, so.
Oh, sure.
Uh,
Strength.
Attack.
So Byleth has a 45% chance to gain opponent's strength, depending on their class. Right now it's 45 anyways. So it's like a slightly lower 50-50, slightly lower clip. And Byleth also got a really lucky crit on one of the goons, and two really good level ups. Strength 2 out of 2 is a really good start.
yeah.
Along with, I think that was 2 out of 2 defense and 2 out of 2 dex, I think.
Hey.
So, yay, more defense, more hit.
Yeah, also one speed. Like that's like the best you could ask for, basically.
Yeah, usually you don't see a second level up in the prologue because you typically don't kill any of the goons, but if you do get an early crit, it doesn't really save you time per se, but you do get to see a second level up earlier, which is nice. So. So yeah, more tutorial stuff. We're gonna have a mandatory monastery quest that Claris is gonna have to go through.
I I think I'm actually going to one round KO Lawrence now. I'm just gonna throw things off in chapter one a bit. Uh,
Oh, well, we'll see. Poor Lawrence. So I guess this is where Tasmania and
Once,
Aeon's
may I
Violet
ask
Strength
a
win.
favor of you?
Well, it's really
Oh,
early, so
yeah,
only 2
yeah.
levels.
Let's hope this keeps up.
Yep.
Oh,
So
I
Silver
hope
Snow
you
is
had
the
a
route
chance.
where Violet's stats matter the most because she's gonna be the most relevant for part 2. Whereas in the other routes she like helps out with some objectives here and there, but isn't really a carry. But in this route she is a carry, a hard carry.
I hear you're investing.
How are you?
But yeah,
The-
we do want in the monastery we do want to keep
So you-
the camera zoomed in and pointed down to reduce lag because the monastery is unfortunately really laggy.
We will.
You'll be seeing that quite a bit. We want to avoid the monastery as much as possible as a whole because monastery is slow, costs a lot of time. So generally speaking, we're only going to go to the monastery if it's required or if we get something that really pays off, like a dancer.
Yeah. I haven't worked on it for a while, but I'm doing a no exploration playthrough. Blue Line's maddening because like too slow. Gotta skip it.
But fistful of fish, fistful of fish.
Ah.
You got to spend like 3 hours fishing for cap professor rank.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, as opposed to the other routes, normally with the other routes we run south, talk to Claude or Dimitri, and then run down to unlock the greenhouse. Edelgard is up north instead, so it's better. We're better off unlocking the greenhouse as a warp point. The chapter afterwards. Ah, yes, the most important part of the playthrough.
Can't forget that.
So yeah, this is speedrun on normal difficulty, classic difficulty, because it's fastest. Classic mode means permadeath is a thing, although in this map, this is a mock battle, even on classic difficulty, so anyone who dies is not actually dead.
No, you don't. Okay.
For some reason, I forgot that you're not supposed to pick Ferdinand von Ayer there, because I'm so used to Nubian Plus.
Stay
So I use him to
focused.
stride.
I am Ferdinand von Ayer. As you wish.
But yeah, so we have 4 units besides Violet up here. We have Edelgard, the House Lord. She's going to be used in a similar fashion to Dimitri and Claude, the main carry for part 2. We want to keep her at level 1 at all costs. And then we have 3 guys who are just going to help out in this map, and that's it. Well, more like 2 guys and then a Ferdinand von Ayer.
I will prevail.
One thing to note is that we also want to pay attention to the support. Actually, no, we don't. Never mind. I was thinking Crimson Flower. In Crimson Flower, we would normally need to pay attention to the support points we get between Violet and Edelgard, but we don't care about that in Silver Snow. We'll get to that in the last route.
Yeah. Yeah, no strength this chapter. What a letdown.
Well, I suppose it averaged out. 2 out of 4.
So,
Still disappointing, though.
Yeah, it's even though you don't have to worry about support here, it's still the exact same strat between.
Yeah, it just happened to be the same
Crimson Flower
strat.
and Silver Snow.
It's just fast.
Yeah.
That port intermediate seal, never to be used. Well, actually, kind of. Is it used? We get a free one when we hit level 10, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, so having all those stats definitely made things more consistent for that chapter.
So chapter 2 is coming up, and we have another forced monastery segments. In this case, we have to talk to Geralt to accept his quest because it's mandatory. And CC's kind of on the way. Claris is going to go ahead and run south towards the greenhouse to unlock it as a warp point, so that she can use that as a warp for the map after this. For another mandatory quest.
Yep. Yeah, the other routes, well, the other houses, run here on the first exploration, right? But, here, because of different, like, house leader positions, it's better to do it, this month instead.
That totally does not get confusing when you run multiple routes.
Yeah, definitely not.
Is there?
So, on to goals. So every week in a monastery on the calendar, students will receive skill points depending on which goals they have next to them. I don't remember what goals we set. I guess we'll see.
I'm doing, bow heavy armor for a Edelgard, which I have never done before. So we're gonna see how that goes.
Oh, okay. I imagine it's because Smite and Bowbane.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And Linhardt with Faith only because we want him to learn Warp, which requires a Faith. So the general gist behind the standard speedruns is that we want to learn as little as possible, so... yeah. Claris is intentionally setting Edelgard to bows and armor because she has a Bane and bows, meaning she learns less from a bow goal, so that saves time. Probably. I think this is the first time we're trying this.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Hopefully it saves time.
Hopefully. So yeah, this is the forest grinding map. So auxiliary battles are maps where you can kind of spend the weekend to just grind on generic enemies. This one is forced because it's a tutorial, so it's just kind of an excuse to get battles grinded up a bit more. Strength, dex, defense, pretty nice. So just kind of just chill here until she wipes out almost everyone.
Yeah. It's pretty important to reach 12 speed before the boss on the next chapter, or next battle, costs this, because you need it in order to double. Unfortunately, I don't have it yet, but I'll have one more level. Maybe two if I get lucky, but we'll see.
It's not the end of the world, because Costas doesn't move, so you can just punch him again, but... Or just shoot him with a bow and then punch him. But yeah, you do want 12 speed to quadruple him with gauntlets.
Yeah.
So, as a reminder, if you're not familiar with how the weapons work in this game, and just came in recently, so gauntlets are a weapon type that were introduced in this game. They're very weak, but very accurate, and they always have the Brave effect, which allows you to attack twice per attack if you initiate. And since they're really light, Violet is typically going to quadruple everything with the gauntlets, as long as she's fast enough. And even though they're really weak, that's usually not an issue in an early game because Violet's base strength stat is really high, so it compensates for quite a while.
Yeah, we just did the Manuela seminar. You can either do a seminar or rest, which does nothing, but we want to get some faith experience for Linhardt and some sword experience for Byleth, which isn't necessary, but it'll give you a 100% chance of passing the reclass next chapter to Thief.
And we all know how much we want reliability in these speedruns, as long as it doesn't cost too much time. Because we don't want to rely on a 68% chance of becoming a thief.
Yeah, and like you're doing it for Linhardt anyway, so it's whatever.
Thanks. Come.
Well, you've seen all the other students side this this stream, so it's Black Eagle's turn. Goodbye, Hubert.
Do you know the name of that orange-haired guy?
Let me check.
I am Ferdinand von
Okay,
Eyre.
thanks. Just had to check. There we go.
On
Sea
speed?
swords.
Okay. She got the speed.
Cool. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, students learning stuff is slow. Each extra student you keep around is an extra lecture question, which costs like roughly 10 seconds, give or take. And they learn abilities, which costs time. You celebrate their birthdays, which costs time. Or rather, they ask you to celebrate their birthday. You have to undeploy them on some maps, which costs time. Basically, you want to be the worst possible teacher in the speedrun.
Yep.
Not even kidding, because you want to give the worst possible answer to every lecture question. Which, by the way, who gave the lecture question this round? I must have missed that.
Dorothea.
Okay, increasing her count.
Okay, that's another really good level. Ferdinand does not want to die. Okay.
The unfortunate thing about Ferdinand von Ayer is that he has a personal skill that gives him plus 15 hit and avoid at full HP, which is normally really good, but in the speedrun scenario, that's really bad because that means he dodges when we want him to die. Which makes me sad, but alas. But for that reason, he is actually kept around alive in the New Game Plus speedrun because he is annoying to kill off, so you might as well keep him around instead.
It's totally not just so we can hear I'm Ferdinand von Ayer.
Yeah, Despoilus is doing pretty well on strength. It's like solid, good,
yeah.
Not amazing, but good, I think. 19, I think.
Like 19 and 10. That's 6 strength and 10 levels, right? So that's.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 or 11 levels. I didn't catch your Bios level, but yeah, that's about a point above average.
Yeah, you're 11 at the end of that chapter, so
Okay.
it's 10 levels.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 5 is average,
Well, 5 is above average, but yeah.
technically, but yeah. 4.5 is technically average, which would be 17.5 strength. So
Wait, what? Where am I warping? That was not where I expected to warp.
Oh yeah, because you wanted to warp to Sylvain's quest, right?
Where am I? Shoot.
Oops.
Yeah, that. I am.
I completely forgot there's a bulletin board there. Holy crap.
Yeah, I actually looked into if it'd be faster to warp to the top floor and then use the bulletin board to warp to Gerald.
Oh my god.
It was not faster.
Sad. So yeah, we're actually recruiting Sylvain. In the Verdant Wind speedrun, if you missed it, we recruited Sylvain in Chapter 9 to make him our dancer. In this route, we want to make him our dancer, but we also want to recruit him before Chapter 5, because if you have him in your party at the end of Chapter 5, you are prompted, you have the opportunity to grab the Lance of Ruin, which is a really important weapon just throughout the entire run. It is a E rank relic that has 22 might and 20 crits. So, yeah, very strong. Unfortunately, pretty inaccurate, but oh well. And the game sort of lies to you about how crest weapons work. There's kind of a misconception with how they work because, like, a lot of players think that, like, in order to use a relic, you have to have the matching crest to use that relic, period. But the reality is that literally anyone can use any relic as long as they have the weapon rank for it, and relics are typically E rank. It's just that if you don't have a crest, you take 10 damage per round of combat automatically, which is not really a big deal in most cases. If you have a crest, you don't take that penalty. If you have the matching crest, then you can use the combat art. Having a crest that matches the relic doesn't matter unless you want to use the combat art. So in the case of the Lance of Ruin, I think it has a combat art called Ruin Sky. So you need to have the Crest of Gautier to use it, which only Sylvain has. But Violet can still use the Lance of Ruin fine, without losing HP. But anyways, Chapter 3, first Fog of War map, and thankfully the only one in the main game, because your vision range is only 2 tiles.
Stay focused.
Claris is gonna go ahead and just solo this with Girl.
Yeah,
punch
it's the only one that also disappears at the halfway mark of the map, so... Yeah. Worse than the limited vision is that it makes it lag so much.
Yeah, so like typically you want to point the camera to like a bird's eye eagle view. It doesn't really help you that much in most cases. I think we just got in the habit of it. But like in this map, you really notice a difference of lag. Whereas if you have the camera angle more lateral, the game lags a lot more than if you have it up top. So this is kind of a specific strat where we're intentionally trying to use a bow on one of the Gambit users. You can kind of tell if an enemy has a Gambit with the green triangles. With a bow, but we can't counterattack at one range with a bow. We need the Gambit users will just attack them. Because the enemies with Gambits will typically not Gambit you if they can attack you without a counterattack.
We're at 20 strength, so still doing okay there.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, Chapter 4 is coming up, and this is the first time we're going to be seeing Stride used in this run. We've seen it used plenty of times in the past runs.
Yep.
Stride is a gambit that the Seros Holy Monks have. The Seros Holy Monks is a battalion, which are basically equipment slots in this game, which is E rank, meaning anyone can use it, and it lets you use Stride, which what it does is if you use Stride on a unit, then all units within 2 tiles of the target get +5 movement for a turn. It's very broken.
Immediately, Sylvain, Edelgard, and Linhart are all the bottom option for the worst choice.
Professor?
Which is
So,
convenient.
yeah.
We have like most of the relevant students and units worst selected questions memorized, and they are different between part 1 and 2. So like Linhart's worst answer is bottom in part 1, middle in part 2. Sylvain's is bottom in both. Edelgard's is bottom in both too, I think.
Yeah, she is.
And etc. etc.
Yeah, I'll show you when I get to answer Edelgard's question, part 2.
Oh, that. Yeah, Edelgard in part 2. So yeah, this is a map. It's a kind of a big map. Might look familiar if you just saw this in the Shadows run. We're going to be using Stride on Byleth soon, or now.
There you go.
Using it up because it has different strats.
Stay focused.
Yeah.
It's like in the other routes you move Byleth first and then Stride on turn 2. It's confusing. I'm really looking forward to our 4-way route bid war for SGDQ, where we totally
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. So yeah, Claris and I both got 3 houses into SGDQ. Thank you. And it's a 4-way route bid war, so we're gonna have to be on point with 4 different routes. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
On top of that, Claris is also running Pikmin 3 Deluxe, so she's basically got 5 runs to prepare for.
Yep. It's gonna be great.
I'm not too new to bid wars for different routes for Fire Emblem speedruns. I've done it for Sacred Stones, and which was even worse because Sacred Stones is entirely RNG manipulated. And Fates, so 3 different runs for that. But still, definitely easy to mix stuff up.
Yeah, you've done 2 routes and you've done 3 routes. Now you have to do 4.
Yeah, now I have to do 4 routes. So yeah, Chapter 5 is coming up. It's basically exactly the same as the first time we did it, which was in Azure Moon, where you kind of have to just do it slow way, because we don't have Lysithea, unfortunately. Did we hit D Gauntlets yet?
I don't know.
Well, we want to hit D Gauntlets because D Gauntlets allow us, Byleth to use the Steel Gauntlets, which is 3 mine instead of 1, which is effectively a +8 attack power, which is pretty
May I
nice.
ask?
Professor?
I'm getting.
Not a I'm really getting.
So Claris is going to be moving Byleth in specific tiles to aggro the archers on the upper floor, because archers have 3 range. And that'll aggro a lot of the enemies into starting to move earlier, which, if timed properly, lets us just sneak around them because there's kind of a corridor we can take in the upper left corner to just get around them and avoid a lot of the combat, which is really nice.
Yep. Hopefully she can get another point of defense, because... Whoops. I think she has 11 right now, and like 12 is like the ideal, really.
Archer's at 15 attack at this, so you kind of you can know on the fly how much damage you're taking from each archer. And we also just got the Sword of the Creator, which is a 1-2 range weapon, which is really nice because it allows us to counter everything that's not an archer. And it's a sword, it's accurate. Unfortunately, it's pretty heavy, so it kind of hurts by the speed quite a bit, and it's pretty weak too, but basically it's the weapon we want to use if you want 1-2 range. Otherwise, we'd rather use like gauntlets. And this is the part where we can kind of just sneak around. And conveniently enough, there's this random armor knight up here with a droppable accuracy ring, which is a really useful item because when equipped, it gives you plus 10 accuracy. And if you missed Aeon Frodo's run, that plus 10 accuracy was very much missed because you do not get the accuracy ring if you warp skip this.
Yeah.
Be mindful.
Big problem with Verdant Winds.
It's like, Verdant Wind's like really reliable in some spots, but then because of missing out on the accuracy ring and no accuracy boosting battalions, it's like
Stay
kind of a
focused.
huge oof in a lot of part 2 chapters.
Ugh. That's... please heal. Okay, you're alive. It's
Careful.
fine, it's fine, it's fine. This is totally fine.
Everything is A-okay.
Why is...
Gilbert's not doing his job.
Be mindful.
Nah, I don't want to go there.
Stay focused.
Let's crit.
Police defense? I can't tell if that was defense.
It was defense. Pretty good level
Alright.
up, actually.
Thomas, the lethal.
Right. Kill the archers! They just chip you so much, and the monster is really scary, as you can tell by Claris almost dying. So this is a huge reset point for speedruns that aren't Verdant Wind, because there's just so much variance with what can happen, depending on like how many enemies are chilling that can threaten you. The monster hitting you, because even if you have good defense, the monster hits you really hard, so you need some dodges. And you can easily lose like a few minutes in this map alone, especially if you have to end up Divine Pulsing a lot. But there's really not much you can do about it because it's chapter 5.
Yeah.
Conveniently enough, you can't counterattack with the bow normally at 1 range, but you can counterattack the boss with the bow no matter what, which is kind of nice.
I did not think this through.
Careful now.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, this is...
Might use a bow instead on that fighter, just so, or, I don't know, sketchy.
Careful now.
So far, we've had 2 out of 2 chapter 5s that went horribly wrong. Yep, pretty much.
Careful now.
Oh, I did not change her weapon.
Stay focused. The leaf.
This is giving up. Just run away.
Just run away until everything else is dead.
Yeah.
Ideally, so like what makes this even worse is that ideally, which did not happen here, you want Gilbert to get as far as possible, which he's a green unit out of your control. You want him to get as far as possible to the upper right corner so he can distract more red units in that direction, but he did not do his job. So there are way more red units down here than there should be, which is usually run ending if it happens, because you're probably just gonna get this happen and die a lot.
Yeah. So the good thing about this chapter is if you, your pulse is actually reset when you start the Miklon, monster Miklon battle. So what I did is pulse to before the monster appeared, and then I started the battle again, and all my pulses are back again.
Stay focused.
So,
Welcome to chapter 5.
yeah,
You know, if you went archer route, you could just attack at 3 range.
yeah, I'll consider that for next time, clearly.
So yeah, ideally you finish the monster in like 4 turns or something like that, and just keep punching it, running it. But obviously you need to get pretty lucky overall. Like this is a Byleth with pretty good stats too. Just keep that in mind. So like even good stats are not going to save you from a really bad monster fight, which really goes to show how horribly wrong chapter 5 can go, and why it's the biggest reset point of the entire run.
The good news is she has 24 strength coming out of it.
24 strength. That's what, 11 procs out of 19? Holy crap. Average is 9, by the way, so she's 2 over average, I think. Which is really good. Okay. I don't think I need to tell you this, but
Professor, I have
remember to be mean to Rhea in the Silver Snow route.
his pun. Of course.
Yeah, so because Sylvain's with us, we get to get the Lancer Ruin from Rhea,
On my
which
yes.
yeah, we brought it up earlier, but it's absurdly powerful. And
E rank relic, 22 might, 20 crit, and 65
Yeah.
hit, but otherwise, yeah. So, and like if
Yeah.
you combine it with something like an effective combat art, such as Night Kneeler, then that's 44 might.
yeah,
Pretty good. Totally not going to see that later in this run. Or maybe if you had a combat art that lets you attack with it twice without a counter, with, 22 might and plus 20 crit. If it wasn't obvious, this weapon is really important, so.
yes, very, very important.
Okay, so Claris is going to make a bit of a detour to the monastery. The monastery visit is not mandatory, but we want to recruit Shamir, primarily for this upcoming chapter, because Shamir is a sniper. She has really good base stats, and snipers get +1 range. And Curve Shot also gives a Curve Shot is a 2-3 range weapon. So that means as a sniper, she has 4 range with Curve Shot. We are also going to temporarily recruit Annette for mission assistance, because we need Annette's rally for this strat to work. And she's conveniently right by the Knight's Hall, so she's easy to request help from.
Yep.
And finally, Claris went ahead and set Shamir's goal to authority only, because Shamir needs to hit A authority by chapter 18, 19? Sometime in part 2.
It's 18.
I'm fine.
Yeah, she needs to hit A authority sometime in part 2. So she can equip a battalion that lets you use retribution.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, 18 or 19 are the same thing, since you don't get to learn anything between them. But
oh yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I think I was thinking of the numbering from Verdant Wind and Azure Moon, but it's Silver Snow.
Yeah,
It's so confusing, because Chapter 17 is the War in Gronder Field, but then Silver Snow doesn't have that. It just happens off
Yeah.
screen.
yeah.
But anyways, so this map is a route map, except for the boss, or kill the boss. Guess which one's faster? So, Shamir will get double attacked by the Donkey Kong, Death Knight, because he's really fast and has counterattack. But by using Rally Strength on Shamir, she gets weighed down by her bow by 1 less point, which is just enough for her to not get doubled. Which is really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, and this isn't even Rally Speed, it's Rally Strength. So that really goes to show how close to the benchmark Shamir it was from avoiding getting doubled.
Stay vigilant.
That being said, the Death Knight still has like a 20-ish crit rate on her, so if she gets critted
Like
on,
18, I think.
18?
So
yeah. It's not like a stupidly high one, but it's pretty common to see her get critted because there's 2 chances of it. So, but nothing that a quick Divine Pulse and some random number burns can't fix. Usually, hopefully.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
In that cutscene, depending on how you answer Flame's question, different music plays. And I don't understand why it's like that.
Oh, really?
It is.
I never noticed.
Yeah.
Alright, so Flame just joined our party. And we're actually not going to kill her off. Hooray. So Chapter 7 is coming up, which is the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. It is a mock battle between the 3 houses, and is also a pretty big run killer, because there's just so much variance that can happen since the other 2 houses are fighting each other. And pretty much every time you do this map, past the first 2 or 3 turns, it's always going to be different. So like, no matter how well you play, you can just lose a minute because you got unlucky. You're forced to improv, and improv again in Fire Emblem speedruns is bad. The worst part about this map, as long as you're not Golden Deer, is that Claude has like 3 archers around his area, and they all have 3 range. Meaning, you have to spend a player phase to attack each one of them, because you don't have 3 range.
Yeah, so... Oh no! Oh well, we're just gonna have a nice lunch here. It's fine.
Oh. I think like right when you said that, I knew what happened. Hey, you're having lunch with the 2 units with the same crest.
Yeah, so those archers, if you're lucky, the blue lions will take them out for you.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. It seems more common to happen if Sylvain is around, but we've recruited Sylvain, so Sylvain's no longer on the blue lion side.
Yeah, that was just kind of unfortunate. I think in my experience, I think like it's roughly 50-50 whether like Dudu survives and just kind of solos all the archers because he's Dudu. If I had to guess, it's probably like around 50-ish%, but obviously it's like near impossible to actually calculate the odds of that happening, just because there's too many variables. But yeah, usually the ideal situation is watch Dudu just kill everything.
I have a fixed strat for the first 5 or 6 turns that usually works.
Usually.
But
Will prevail.
after that, it's
Stay
just
focused.
improv.
Let us away.
So Flame is nice as a support character because she can heal Byleth, which saves Byleth's clear faces, and also has, what's it called? Her personal skill, which reduces the damage that adjacent units take by 3 damage. So whenever Flame is next to Byleth, Byleth gets a +3 defense and a rest buff.
Yeah, so why this is actually traded with Byleth to change her weapons, because I needed Sora the Creator to hit Ingrid, but after that I don't want to keep it equipped because then I'll just use up a bunch of uses for it that I want to save for later in the chapter.
Oh, I never actually bothered. I just kind of wing it.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Ah, that's annoying.
Hilda. I always kind of wanted to change the strat for the first turn and not have Flame attack that night, but there's just too many ways to handle this chapter. It's hard to tell what's actually fastest.
Yeah, I don't do that in Crimson Flower, but I do it here in Citrus.
Stay focused.
But I think it's also a lot riskier to do that.
Okay. So one of the things to note about this map is that what's really important in this map is knowing like which units have gambits and how their AI works, and which units will tend to not use gambits. So like Annette, for example, has a 1 to 2 range gambit. So like if you're in her range, she's gonna gambit you 99% of the time. So you pretty much have to make sure you have a player phase ready for her. Another example is Edelgard. She has a 1 range gambit but a 2 range weapon. Well, in other houses, I should say. Same with Dimitri. So ideally you just put Violet in 2 range of them so they attack you with a 2 range weapon instead of gambiting you. Claude you can't really do much about because 3 range, and this is what I was talking about before. You can't counterattack all the archers. So you just kind of have to spend a player phase punching each one of them one by one.
Yep. Come on, strength, strength. Oh my god. Okay, she needs 1 more point, and also level 3 on her battalion. In order for my chapter 10 strat to work. But her strength is really good right now. Let's just suffice to say.
So that's where all of Aeon and Tasmania's strength went. Got it.
Yes, yes. I will gladly receive this gift.
Receive their sacrifice. So how much strength was it? I wasn't paying attention. It was like...
27.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It's
Average
20
is like...
strength, but only 10 magic, so...
it's fine. I think average is like 23 as a thief at this point. 23, 24. So, yeah, 3 points over is pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah, and that's with the Enlightened 1 base, right?
That's without the mercenary base. Yeah, like I think the average was 24 with the mercenary base at this point, so it's 23 as a thief. Right, but yeah, since Claris got really strength blessed, we can do the fastest strat for this map, which is sweet. We typically need 24 strength to 2-shot the Armor Knight,
Fine.
Distorted Creator.
That doesn't matter, this route.
Oh, does it not? Okay.
Because you have Lance of Ruin.
That is true, you do have the Lance of Ruin. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, I forgot you're a thief. I'm
Yeah.
mixing up strats. That's what happens if I haven't ran in normal categories in a while, and there's like four of them.
It's still ideal to use Sword of the Creators, so you can, like, counterattack the mage.
Right.
But...
And if you have even more strength, you can go ahead and buy the Empire Pegasus Corps Battalion and start training that up immediately. It's a really good battalion that just got unlocked because it's a flying battalion, meaning flying classes can use it, of course, with a lot of hit. And hit is pretty much the most important stat after attack. I think at cap it gives +4 attack. At base it's +2 attack, so Byleth actually lost 1 attack from switching from Geralt's Mercenaries to the Empire Pegasus Corps. So you have to keep that in mind if you swap. But you do want to train it ASAP so you can get it up to 4 attack.
Come on, strength. Okay. She just needs to have her battalion hit level 3.
Wow. Okay, so in most route, this is the map. This upcoming chapter is when you go to the monastery to pick a student to participate in a dancing competition, and you need a minimum of 14 charm to be guaranteed to win. We normally pick Sylvain in most routes, and that's no different in this route, but because we recruited Sylvain like 6 chapters ago, his charm stat is a lot lower than usual, but thankfully, it's still high enough where we can just do a quick dancing class with him and get it up to 14 charm. So.
Yeah, like, you get to give your dancer dancing lessons, which gives them 5 extra charm, so...
I don't remember where, but I think there's a video of Flame failing the dancing competition, like the unused voice quote for it. I don't know if that's like actually programmed in the game, but because it's like impossible for her to fail the dancing competition, because you can't have any lower charm on her. I think there's like a video of it somewhere, but yeah.
I'd like to see that video.
But I believe she does have lines for that.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that.
May I ask a favor?
So my favorite part, one of my favorite dancer picks is Dimitri. I mean, like, just casually, because if you try to pick him as a dancer, he's like, no, please don't pick me. No, Professor, no, are you trolling me? And you pick him, he's like,
So,
no!
Me? Oh, Professor.
Another one, like, if you pick Dudu as your dancer and he wins, he's like, what is going on in everyone's mind?
One.
Or how did I win this competition? It's pretty funny. Like, one of my favorite things about this game is just the audio. Like, the voice acting is so good in this game, and you can tell, like, all the voice actors just put in so much love into this game.
Yeah, I think it's Hubert that's like, I don't think the judges are in their right minds.
Oh yeah,
or
that does sound like a Hubert thing, yeah. Also, shoutouts to Ash.
No votes for the other houses today, unfortunately.
Oh, I vote. The black
How often is it that someone gets to play 3 houses and dance the dancing competition in front of tens of thousands of viewers?
Happened one time, so not very.
Claris did run Verdant Wind at HDQ a year and a half ago, which, I mean, while it's technically outdated,
what?
I still recommend watching it. What happened?
I got Linhart for the Goddess Tower? I have never seen that before.
My effort.
How long?
I appreciate your effort.
Yeah, that was new to me.
Yeah, I guess the meal does that to you.
Yeah, that was it, right. Okay, so I don't have a backup if this misses. It didn't miss.
I will
Good.
prevail.
Okay.
Very helpful.
Let us away.
Flame has a gambit just for this monster and breaking the barrier.
To work.
So this is a route map. You have to take out 4 monsters.
Stay
Each with 2 health bars.
focused.
Violet's going to be doing the majority
To
of the work,
work.
of course. Shamir's going to go ahead and gambit this monster. When you gambit a monster, you manipulate its AI into attacking you,
I'm on
which
it.
is an intended mechanic, of course. And we also want a unit to go up to the tile above Violet, because that aggros the upper 2 monsters into just doing nothing, basically. Well, in this case, since we're warping Violet, that monster will attack Violet and get countered with the sword. But basically, we need a unit up there so that the 2 monsters in the northern half don't run away.
Never doubted you.
Okay, she hit level 3. Cool. So, Krania's getting 1 shot. Hopefully that's fine. Yeah.
Nosferatu Linhard,
away.
let's go. Or Flame.
Yeah, I didn't want to use. I want to avoid using
Not bad.
Linhart.
Not
So,
bad at all.
yeah, we're gonna get quick, very quick. Chapter 10.
So the ideal strat for this is to one-shot Krania at 2 range with Ruptured Heaven. Ruptured Heaven is a pretty good combat art that hits once. It gives you a pretty nice attack boost and also is powered up by your magic stat, which is plus 30% of the magic stat. But you need a lot of strength in order to one-shot her at range, and accuracy can leave much to be desired because Krania has keen intuition, which gives her plus 30 avoid at range. I think you'll typically have like 80-ish hit with the strat,
It's
so it's not too bad.
mid-70s.
Mid-70s? Okay, so which translates to around 87 actual hit rate, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, and you can do stuff with flame to change the RNs. So
Yeah, Crania is typically kind of a big issue because of her avoid. She's dodgy, and she also takes 3 less damage if you try to attack her at 1 range, which in some cases you kind of want to, so you can just punch her, but... Yep.
and so Aelgard just learned Smite.
Oh yeah, you're literally just testing this out.
I'm getting.
Because I think, like, Tasmania just kind of mentioned that this might be faster.
Yeah, I tried out Smite, but this is a faster way of doing the Smite strat, basically. Because setting her goals to just armor is bad, apparently. But yeah, so... yeah, this is gonna be pretty fast.
Hopefully. Hopefully you don't miss twice in a row.
I have to miss 3 times in a row.
Do you have that many ways to burn RNs?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, physics too. Well,
No, she has the Gambit, so
Stay focused.
she can't get counterattacked.
I'm on it.
unfortunate thing about recruiting Sylvain really early is all the extra level ups you get. But alas, Lance of Ruin's important.
Yeah, so Aelgard just shoved Sylvain. "49 strength." Doesn't beat my PB for this category that had 30 strength going into Crania, but it's up there, you know.
Smite Edelgard doing her best to do impression. So at this point, if you want to side with the Black Eagles route, you need to have a C+ support with Edelgard, and then talk to Edelgard in this month. This being a Silver
Yeah,
Snow
so
route.
right here I'm gonna be doing a bunch of battles to grind out the Aelgard support. I wish.
But we're gonna be skipping that. And Byleth just became auto-certified into the Enlightened 1 class, which is a pretty solid class given it's free. So it's 6 movement with Sword Fair and okay stat buffs, +2 attack, I think. And the Sublime Creator Sword as well, which is a really useful weapon. It's 14 mites, might be 13, with 1 to 2 range, 90 hit, and 10 crit.
Isn't it 15?
15? Is it 15?
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe.
it's super good.
Well, either way, it's really good. So, yeah. And she has Sword Fair as the Enlightened 1, so... yeah, she has a really powerful 1 to 2 range weapon.
Are you?
Yeah, so 80's now gone. Which means we have to give stride to someone else now. Whoops. Hi Shamira, you are our new strider.
It's kind of convenient we have Shamir as a strider because it is nice for a 5-move unit to have stride instead of 4.
Yeah.
To work. Not.
Shadows is a game that made bows really good. I'm a fan of any Fire Emblem game that makes
Great.
archers,
Stay focused.
because I'm a fan of archers. Bow users.
Battle. I'm on it.
It's really satisfying to play Manavy mode and just like spam Hunter's Volley because Hunter's Volley is so broken. One of my favorite builds I did in Maddening, personally, was when I had Ignots with the Fetters of Drami, Defiant Crit, Defiant Strength, and Killer Bow as a sniper. That was a lot of fun.
I'd like to take it easy.
Yeah, we have a warp here. Just kind of get Byleth up to the ledge and bop Edelgard. Skips having to defeat a bunch of units that are blocking the way from the sides. So, saves a lot of time.
Yeah. So normally the choice of whether you side with Aelgar or not is in this cutscene. I don't get the choice because I don't have Aelgard at C+ support and then do the other prerequisite. But
So,
this cutscene is still unskippable, even though you don't actually get the choice.
And
Which
you
is...
get another unskippable cutscene soon,
come.
where you get some dialogue from every student that's alive.
If you, I'm Professor.
Oh, it's part of the same cutscene, really. That's why you can't skip it.
Oh, fair.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works, at least.
So now that we're siding with the church, we actually just got a bunch of units in our party. We got Sedith, who's a really important unit, and actually going to be the carry for the rest of this run. Flying carry, I should say. Catherine, who is good, and Cyril, who is a unit. Yeah, no Alois, no Gilbert, but still. And every extra unit we get is kind of welcome, even if they cost time, just because the last map is... You need units for the last map, I'll put it that way.
Okay, yeah, that's all.
Okay, so this is a bunch of setup for part 2 and Hunting by Daybreak. So to go over what happens, Claris set up Sedith's goal to be Lance and Riding. So by the time Sedith really needs it, he'll get Lance Prowess 4, which gives him +3 hit, and then Dexterity +4, which gives him +4 hit. Catherine is set to bow so that she can use the Brave Bow by endgame. Yes, that is a bow using Catherine. That is not a meme. And then we also gave Sedith Swordbreaker, which he comes with, which gives him extra hit against sword users. And this guarantees that he will have 100 hit on a bunch of assassins in Hunting by Daybreak coming up. Anything else I missed? Battalions, we gave Sedith the Empire Pegasus Corps Battalion, because it's flying.
Yeah, so we gave Byleth back Geralt's Mercenaries. And so she's going to have that for the rest of the game now. I also removed one of Sedith's combat arts to make room for Swift Strikes later.
Right.
He's going to get that once he reaches A Lances.
Yeah, I think Sedith joins with like B+ Lances, so he hits A pretty reliably, even though it requires quite a bit of experience.
Stay focused.
But yeah, defeat boss map, defeat the flame member, kind of the same gist. Move Byleth a bit, set up, and then stride, dance, kill.
Yep.
To work.
Let us away.
Nice Olive Valley you get to do. Cool.
I'm on it.
Oh, come on. Don't let me down your strength now, Byleth.
I think Byleth needs like 35, 36 strength for, ideally, to 4-shot the Great Knight, I think, near end game.
She needs 34.
34, okay. But yeah, Byleth's stats still matter quite a bit, so we want good level ups on her. Most notably, strength and dex luck, because we want as much attack and as much crit on her as possible. Alright, so part 2. Time skip mechanics aren't quite as relevant in this route because we don't have a House Lord that we're just keeping around to get auto levels up to level 20, but every unit below level 20 gets auto level to level 20 in normal difficulty only. Sedith himself gained 1 auto level off screen, so that's kind of nice. It's better than nothing.
Barely.
And he's a Wyvern Rider as well, so we have a flyer for this map, which is really nice because we really need flyers for Hunting by Daybreak. And Sedith's going to be the main unit using the Lance of Ruin from here on out because he has really good lance rank. He has Swordbreaker equipped, which again gives him +20 hit and avoid against sword users while he's using a lance.
Looter,
What's my strategy?
guide me well.
I have to say, kind of a humble brag, but this was a strat. I don't think you changed the strat much. I think this is a strat that I came up with, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I don't think I really changed it at all.
Relatively reliable. Zedith wants to land another gambit here, and the Empire Pegasus Core has an interesting gambit. I don't remember the name of it, but it kind of hits 3 units sideways, which is really useful coming up soon. Group Lance attack, there we go. Because he's going to be able to rattle a bunch of archers so that they don't destroy him with silver bows.
There.
Yeah, first equip the Lance of Ruin, because I'm going to need that for the enemies right here.
There's a bunch of assassins that'll attack Zedith, and they actually double him and will slaughter him. But because he one-shots them with the Lance of Ruin and has 100 accuracy thanks to Swordbreaker, he's not going to have an issue. And Zedith will generally be pretty close to death, but unless he's gained literally 0 defense points and his battalion is underleveled, he has no chance of dying.
Have I earned no reprieve?
From what I remember, at least. So Pallardo's spawning point is random, top or bottom. Top, I think bottom's technically better, but it doesn't really matter too much because that's going to fly to a safe spot either way, and then just plop him his turn.
Yeah, there's an enemy that has a chance of killing Zedith if they go top. But it was fine.
But yeah, Hunting by Daybreak. Expect to see a lot of Zedith coming up. So Claris is going to be taking off his Swordbreaker ability because it's no longer relevant.
Yep. And giving him the battalion defense, whatever that's called.
Oh, defensive tactics, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of an underrated ability, sort of. That's basically reduces the amount of damage that battalions take by half, and that's pretty valuable because like Zedith, while his stats are like really reliable compared to the House Lords, they're also not like overpowering OP like the House Lords. So like he will be taking a lot of damage in the upcoming maps, and equipping defensive tactics and not having to replenish his battalions as often will save time typically, and or
Yeah.
just kind of be nice as a safety.
Yes.
So I just unlocked a bunch of DLC stuff.
Woo.
It'd be faster to do the run on a profile that hasn't like beaten Cinder's Shadows. But that would mean I don't have my yellow title screen.
It's whatever. I, like,
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care enough for that, personally.
The yellow title screen is too important, you know?
I still have the green title screen because I still never technically finished a Mad Animo playthrough. I've gotten like 2 playthroughs up to like endgame for I think Crimson Flower and Azure Moon, and I deleted them on accident.
I'm getting
in these files. And I got to the same spot in Verdant Wind and I got bored of it, so I didn't finish. Yeah, lots of inventory management here. So as mentioned before, Zedith's going to be the main carry, so Claris is going to go ahead and give him the energy drop, which thankfully was not necessary on Byleth. Zedith will need that pretty badly.
Yeah. He's gotten pretty good strength so far, I think. So that's a magic stat.
Wow, 23 magic on Linhardt. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Wait, he has like 11 base magic, I think. That's 12 level ups out of 19 with a 40% growth. Wow. But yeah, certifications typically take about 10 seconds, more if you have a stat bonus. So you want to avoid them. But in this case, there is a map where we want to use Warp twice, and the Bishop class gives you double uses of white magic. So Claris is making Linhardt a Bishop for that reason. What was that? 12 points of magic? I'm curious.
13 apparently. Wait, no.
10 base magic, okay. Getting at least 23 magic, there was a 1.15% chance.
Thanks a bunch.
I bought the wrong thing, so now I'm just gonna go and sell it.
Is that the one? Thanks
Oops.
a bunch.
It's what you do in Crimson Flowers, so.
Is that thanks a bunch? Is that the thanks
Totally
a
not
bunch?
confusing at all.
Is that the one?
Not at all.
Thanks
So yeah,
a
we're
bunch.
buying quite a few weapons for Seth. A hand axe for 1 to 2 range just for this map, I think. The Brave Axe because it's his most reliable. He still has Axe Fair as a Wyvern Rider, so axes are still very good on him. The Force Slayer, which does what it sounds like, and also the Lance of Ruin, which is the Lance of Ruin. And Sedith isn't like overpoweringly OP like the House Lords as I mentioned before, so he kind of has a little bit of issues of wiping out this part of the map and defending it. But he still handles himself fine typically.
I have faith.
Please don't die, Seth. Okay, good.
So this map is a route map, but routing takes forever, so we're better off just guiding the green sword master to the bottom right corner, which sets the map on fire. And then once we
Let's clean
aggro
up.
the boss, Randolph, it changes the objective of the map to defeat boss, which is way faster. I tried routing out, like actually routing this chapter. I don't recommend it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I'm grateful.
Okay, he's already at 34.
Guide me well.
He just needs 35 for the ideal strat, so cool. Good job, Seth. I mean, I also gave him the energy drop, which I don't usually do, but
I'll
still.
That's it. Just pretty much the same strat as other routes we've seen. So. You actually don't want to put Byleth in the forest tile. That's a bad idea because if Randolph's hit rate on Byleth is too low, he's just going to camp at you instead. And that's bad because you don't counterattack him.
Yep. Is very bad.
I've had it happen before. I'm pretty sure I've had it happen before. I'm not in the forest, actually. Well, although that might have been like an all-chapter thing or something with alert stance. I don't know. But yeah, you don't want to have too much avoid, basically, just for that. Okay, so Sedith has the hammer in will have the hammer in his inventory, and his battalion is quite beaten up, but thanks to defensive tactics, Claris doesn't have to replenish Sedith's battalion. And the boss coming up is Gwendol, who we've seen get bopped twice so far in this marathon. He is a great knight, so he is weak to the hammer. So Sedith can typically two-shot him with the hammer without needing much strength.
Sure is fun skipping through these calendar months. Like,
I have to. Are you?
Are you
20
pulling my
times.
leg? You're telling me I've sat through these for 6 hours now. But it's okay though.
Hopefully.
It's fun.
This will help.
Woo! Catherine learned close counter. Woohoo! So yeah, it's kind of interesting just to see like your main carry uses both lances and axes. Honestly. So.
yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of partially why I kind of have a soft spot for this route. I mean, I don't like it, but I do like the speedrun of it a lot, despite the end game, personally. But I'm also biased because I like Sedith a lot. But I do like that this route does make itself stand out from the other routes, even despite not having like a utterly broken House Lord, which is pretty cool. That's why the speedrunning this game is awesome. All the routes have something to make themselves stand out. I cannot talk today.
That's not what I usually do, but we'll work with it.
It's okay. Burning a turn is like no time.
Guide me well.
No, it
What's the
made
point?
no actual difference. It was just weird.
Oh, okay.
I switched where I moved
Let's clean up.
Sedith and Sylvain, but it's like
It's
that
fine.
doesn't actually matter.
Six strength over. Wow. 35 strength.
Yeah. So he's got enough now.
Plenty.
He has enough to one-shot Death Knight on Chapter 18 and also 3-hit Edelgard on Chapter 19. And those are the most important benchmarks he needs to hit.
There is a really high speed benchmark that he can try to hit as well in order to quadruple attack the endgame boss, but usually that means you need to use warp to get an extra speed wing, and that costs a lot of time. But
Yeah,
it is a nice
he's at
attack.
21 speed.
Oh yeah,
right
he's
now.
not hitting that. He's not hitting that. I think he needs like 25, 26 in order for the speed wing to be worth it, kind of. I don't remember the benchmarks off the top of my head. Zedith's growths are pretty solid all around from what I remember. I know it's like his speed growth is pretty high. Though it's actually not that relevant in this route. 45 strength, 50 dex, 50 speed, so solid offensive growths. 45 charm, holy crap. Right, so this map coming up is the bridge map once again, and it's a defeat all commanders map.
Yeah, it's got a pretty interesting start.
I'm like so proud.
Looks
Like
like
I think
Yeah.
this is a strat that I came up with, and it's it's interesting. I think there was like an old route that Rangor tried to like theorycraft that required like 6 warp range and then rally magic.
Have it.
That which we do have, yeah, because Linhardt has like 25 magic as a bishop. But no, thankfully that's not a thing. Because you're about to see how it's. I'm a big fan of this strat. It just looks really clean after the first 2 turns. And yep. So Sedis just learned Swift Strikes, which is something we need to point out because Swift Strikes is one of the best combat arts in the game. You attack twice with a lance. It sounds simple, but until you realize that you attack twice with any lance without a counterattack. So you can use the Horse Layer
my
or the Lance of
strategy?
Ruin with Swift
Guide me
Strikes,
well.
and then it's really broken. So Sedis gonna make a minor detour here to pick up a crit ring from this chest, which boosts his crit rate by 5. Gonna be giving it to Byleth for endgame. After the second Unite, so just spam Unite a bit.
Let's clean up.
And again, we want to avoid a trigger that makes Acheron the 4th boss into spawning.
Onward.
Now we're gonna go ahead and just... Oh no, we still kill Acheron, never mind.
Yeah.
We do, okay. So yeah, Seta's gonna go ahead and grab
What's
the
the
crit ring,
plan?
equip the Lance of Ruin, and then... Gonna go ahead and Gambit? Yeah, Gambit, Ferdinand von Eyer's replacement.
There is.
So that means Ferdinand von Eyer's boss replacement cannot attack with the Gambit, but will attack Sedith normally, and then Sedith will counterattack with the Lance of Ruin and kill him. Lorenz has a chance of landing a Gambit on Sedith. It's pretty low, like 20 displayed hit, I think. But if it happens, then oof, that kind of sucks. But it didn't
It's
happen.
more than that. Like, I don't know if he's like getting support from the nearby units, but it's like 25 or 30.
Okay. But yeah, Sedith just used Swift Strikes with the Horse Layer to just kill Lorenz without any counterattack, and now he's gonna go ahead and use Swift Strikes with the Lance of Ruin on Ladislava. And like, even his accuracy is kind of against Ladislava, but he has a pretty high crit rate anyways. So it's really rare for Sedith to actually fail to kill Ladislava, despite the hit rate.
It's happened enough for me.
I think it's only happened like once for me, so I guess I'm lucky with that. On the other hand, with Claude, ugh, complete opposite experience for me.
But he uses a bow against a Wyvern Rider. That shouldn't be a problem.
Right? The Wyvern Rider totally doesn't have Aegis.
And, you know, like immunity to bows. Not immunity, but like not weak.
Nullify, yeah. So month 4 just got skipped, FYI, because this is normally where Chapter 7 happens in most routes, the War on Gronder Field, but Silver Snow, you just skip it.
Yeah, it just outright skips the month.
You get no experience from month 4 at all. It just makes you go, why Silver Snow? Why?
Yeah, so Black Eagles doesn't get to experience like one of the biggest chapters of the game, like the chapter they devote an E3 trailer to. Like,
It makes me sad to think about that. The Black Eagles just does not get that chapter at all. But alas. Okay. So yeah, now we're marching on towards Enbar, and we have to take Fort Mercius, which requires defeating the Death Knights. I'm trying to say Donkey Kong and Death Knight at the same time. Talking's hard. But yeah. Lance of Ruin, Horseslayer, Swift Strikes, Night Kneeler. Thankfully, unlike Golden Deer, where we had Claude all the way to the upper right corner, we have
Let's clean up.
starting the map with us, so we can just go ahead and pop the Death Knight pretty quickly. With a Night Kneeler, the Lance of Ruin, meaning the Lance of Ruin has 44 mites when using the Night Kneeler, which is plenty to one-shot the Death Knight with 100 accuracy. With the Lance of Ruin.
100 accuracy.
It feels
That sounds good,
right?
doesn't it?
Yeah, imagine having 100 accuracy on the Death Knight. Yeah, so next map, we have to kill the Death Knight again. Except he's kind of on an avoid tile that gives like plus 30, plus 40 avoid. So, yeah. Yeah,
I think it's
he's
plus
a
40.
Yeah, it's a thing. So, conveniently enough, by setting Seth's goals to Lance and Riding, he barely learns Lance Prowess level 5 and Dexterity plus 4 just in time for this map. Which gives him plus 7 hit, thankfully, and he needs that so badly for this map.
Plus 3 is plus 3.
I think with Night Kneeler, he has like 60-ish hit, typically. Something like that. Without that buff, that would be 53 hit. So that would be like a... We're basically getting a hit buff from 55-ish actual hit to like 68 actual hit. This is also the map where Shamir has to gain A authority, so she can go ahead and hire the Index Sword Fighters, which is a battalion that's A rank, but allows you to use Retribution, which is the gambit that lets you counterattack everything for 5 turns. And that's pretty important because we need to kill 2 bosses in this map, the Death Knight and Hubert. And Hubert has a 10 range tome. So that means with Retribution, we can effectively just kill him in enemy phase by getting within 10 tiles of him. Cutting down on some required movements. Alright, so good luck. Hope you get the one shot. Alternatively, you can try to Swift Strikes to Death Knight with Horseslayer, which works, but you're trying to land 2 50% hit chances in a row, roughly, so... yeah, not super reliable. If Sadith was really barely short of being able to one-shot with Night Kneeler, an alternative strat is to Gambit the Death Knight to do like 3 or 4 damage, and then one-shot him with the Night Kneeler. You have like 3 or 4 different ways to handle this chapter typically, even if Sadith's kind of short on strength, so it generally works out.
Appreciate it.
Let's clean up. I'm grateful.
I'm awake.
Yeah, 59. And hit first try.
Guide me well.
Woohoo!
59 hit. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's only.
Good. What's the plan?
And now,
And
hit Hubert.
and he was dead.
It's almost a...
Okay. Well, time for Edelgard, and again, Cetus needs 35 strength to 3-shot her. Of course, you can still kill her with a 4-shot, they're Brave Axe, but Edelgard's kind of on the most OP throne of all time. 40 avoid. So Cetus hit rate on her with the Brave Axe is roughly 80, give or take. So you kind of don't want to try to land 4 of those in a row.
Yeah, it's like not even 80, it's a bit below.
So if you assume it's 80, that translates to around 92 hit, and trying to land 4 90s in a row is a little iffy. So only having to land 3 out of 4 is really nice. You should rally luck. Rally luck. Rally luck. Rally luck. Wait, did Flame gain authority in this run?
No.
Aw, never mind. Dang it. Yeah, Rally Luck used to be kind of a consistency thing because I think I originally routed Flame to gain some authority. And Rally Luck was nice because it gave Cetus 8 extra crit avoid and plus 4 crit on Edelgard, which helps with reliability a bit. Edelgard has a pretty significant crit rate on Cetus.
What's the plan?
You gotta go fast, so you gotta sacrifice consistency at times.
I'm awake.
Yeah, 77 hit. Missed one. Gotcha. And that's it for Seth, basically, other than a little bit of chipping on the final boss.
Yep, Seth pretty much carried the majority of parts up to this point. He's still helpful, but there's only 2 maps left, and Byleth is going to be the most important unit. Because Enlightened one with Swordfair and Thunderbrand is pretty powerful. And Flight isn't really as useful anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dubstep, if you missed the Verdant Wind Run, in the Dubstep map, we had Claude get warped from the upper left corner and kind of go around to the boss. The Silver Snow version of this map is quite different, actually, because Violet's going to be our carry for this part. And we need to use 2 warps to do what we want to do, because the boss is inside a room that requires being opened. So it's not quite as trivial as, say, warp then bot boss. And there's also a really bulky Great Knight blocking the way.
It's within. Yeah.
Alright. Violet is at 33 strength right now. Ideally, she'll have 34 in, like, the next level up.
Hopefully. It's 55%. Plus 10% from Enlightened one. So 55% strength growth.
Yeah.
On average, it's not much, but you take what you can.
Yeah, otherwise I have to just hope for a lucky crit, basically.
Which isn't too unlikely, because a Thunderbrand has a bit of crit. And
Yeah,
we
it's
also have
like
Gerald's
20-something crit and hits 4 times, so it's like, it's not that unlikely. But there's also no way to, like, change the RNs, so...
Alternatively, another strat is to use a Gambit, but that is slower. But it is an option.
Yeah, you can do Thunderbrand, or you can use, like, the Sword of the Creator, Sublime Heaven, or whatever.
Oh yeah, that works too.
What's my
So there's
strategy?
3 different options, but you would really rather the first one.
What's the plan?
She did not get the strength, so
Just hope for a crit. Remember, you're ahead, so don't spoil it for me.
yeah, I also use a Pure Water here because it gives her a +7 res. I'm going to want that here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of magic attackers on this map. And Violet's gonna have to tank a lot of them.
Let's go.
So we're all doing something in the map. Cool.
Alright, she got a crit.
Nice.
And got the point of strength to level 2 late. Oh no.
I'll
Okay, she's alive. Okay. Okay.
Ooh,
I may not
that's a little
survive.
close. Oh no, how are we gonna take out the boss now? Oh, have another warp. And this is why Linhardt is a bishop, so he can warp twice.
Yep.
Just for this map.
Alright, so pretty good pace so far, which means I have 10 minutes to throw away.
10 minutes to throw away on this map. So, yeah, so if you thought Cindered Shadows had a lot of luck involved with it, this is its own category of things, and it's at the very end of a run, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So,
one nice thing here is that you don't have to skip through the month this time, because you can just explore and talk to Seth, and he gives you the option to just immediately skip to the end.
So,
It's a nice little time save.
we have to take out the Immaculate one, a dragon, and she has 4 health bars. Hits really hard, a giant
my
gambit. She has Vantage and Wrath at certain health bars. And after you take out 1 health bar, might be 2, I think it's 1. She has Miracle, and if you don't know what Miracle is, you have a luck % chance of surviving a lethal blow at 1 HP. And you have to deal with that for 3 health bars in a row. And she has over 30 luck, so there is a 30% chance she just survives a hit. So yeah, despite the fact that it's not maddening, you can easily lose just several minutes to this map because it's a complete crapshoot. That being said, if it goes well, then it'll look like the easiest map of all time. If it does not go well, then Claris will look like she doesn't know what she's doing. That's just the nature of this map. And like, on top of that, we need crits. Like, we have to get crits. You typically, Violet just cannot take out health bars on her own, typically,
I'll
without
crush them all.
crits. So we need to burn 2 attacks on the Immaculate one, and that'll trigger
Let's
the
clean up.
Immaculate one into its angry phase, or whatever you want to call it. And it gets fully healed, which is why the first 2 attacks don't matter. So, gonna go ahead and use Swift Strikes with the Blessed Lance for a
What's my
chance to prevent a
strategy?
counterattack, because Zedith has a crest that allows him to prevent counterattacks with combat arts.
What's the plan?
Take out a health bar and hope we don't get miracled.
Ooh.
And then Linhardt's also going to use a gambit called Impregnable Wall on Sylvain, Shamir, and Byleth. And what that does is you take only 1 damage and deal only 1 damage. But Byleth already did the damage she needed, so we're just going to use Impregnable Wall on the end of the turn. Ideally, everyone survives, but that's realistically never going to happen. So, as long as Shamir, Sedith, and Catherine all survive, that's fine. So Shamir's going to go ahead and use Monster Blast to take out the barrier. Byleth to take out the health bar. We did not get miracled yet. No crit there.
And,
Oh, Catherine!
well, there's a 1% chance of a crit, but
Which happened to me in a marathon run, FYI. Yep, go for it.
whew,
Feel free to call time.
oh, time.
I was like, when's time? Oh, crap, I forgot to ask you for time. But yeah, that's how this chapter goes when it goes mostly pretty smoothly. There is so much that can go wrong there. So much. It is a miracle that it went that smoothly. And like, yeah, I mean, I think technically, like, the Immaculate she might still have gotten Miracle, but just got a crit, so she just hit her again, but yeah. This chapter is certainly a thing. GG. 127.09 is the
GG.
time I got. I don't know if you were running a timer or not.
I was not.
Okay. Yeah. Underestimate. Woo.
Yeah, I was worried that how this was gonna go after that chapter 5.
Yeah. Like,
The 8-minute chapter 5.
and again, Silver Snow Endgame is like a complete disaster too. Like, I think I was actually kind of uncomfortable with the one. Part of me was slightly uncomfortable with 135 estimate just because it's endgame. Endgame can lose you like over 10 minutes actually, with how many things that can go wrong. But luckily it went pretty smoothly, and the rest of this run went pretty smoothly. Honestly, like part 2 was really solid. I don't think anything really went wrong.
The important thing is that I got through the run without my internet going down.
Oh yeah, no internet issues. That's a pretty nice plus. Okay, well, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Bye, Silver Snow. It's time for Crimson Flower.
We need to see the MVP
multiple
list.
senses.
Was alight
MVP.
as the flow of
MVP.
time carved a new history for Fodlan.
Ah,
Rhea's wild rampage was put to an end,
MVP.
averting what could have
MVP.
been the greatest crisis in the history of
I just want to
Fodlan.
see Setta's face all over
After
the MVP
5.5
list.
years of war,
okay.
a new age was set to begin.
I forget if you can speed it up.
Good question. I'm not sure.
I
know
don't
we can
want to
skip
like.
it.
Oh wait. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. But look at all that girl as a MVP.
Girl, MVP, girl. Let's not look at chapter 5. Just skip through that. Oh, nice hair. Nice hair color.
Oh.
Oh, low battery.
You know, I'm not sure where I put my charger, like the charging cable. And I was like, whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine.
And it turned out okay. It's fine.
Barely.
All right. Well, thanks for the run. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun somehow. So, yeah, Crimson Flowers next. So, woohoo! Best category of the game.
Woo! So yeah, thanks a lot for the run again, Claris. We'll have Crimson Flower being ran by Logs as the finale for this marathon, so look forward to that. But we'll be back in a few minutes. So sit back tight.